Welcome to DKW Galleries, the magic of art. And today we're kind of going behind the scenes and we're going to give artists and maybe other galleries some tips on how to ship art. We came across this or developed this several years ago, and it's proved to be very good for us in shipping art. And as you can see by the piece in the background, we use Foamular. And you can get Foamular here in the United States at Home Depot, Lowe's, and probably other home building stores. And it comes in 4x8 sheets. It's available in 1 inch, 1.5 inch, and 2 inch 4x8s. I think Home Depot advertises a 1/2 inch, but they don't carry it at our local one, not in 4x8 sheets. But it's a purple foam, it's very smooth, very stiff, and works out excellent. Ranges from about $17 to $20 for a sheet, and of course, it's too big to get into our SUV. So I have to take a knife with me to cut it down. I cut it down just barely so I can get it in to it so I don't waste any more than I have to. So that's going to be one of the things you're going to want for doing this. And of course, other things you're going to want, very important, is you might call it a utility knife or even a box knife, but you want the type of knife that has snap off blades because you're going to want to cut deeper than a normal box knife on it. Now, look what I'm doing here. I've taken the piece of art and I cut a piece of the Foamular that is about 1.5 to 2 inches larger all the way around than the piece of art. And that's what I do as a standard size all the way around. And I cut two identical sizes, top and a bottom. And that's going to give me a lot of strength for shipping this piece. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut sides for it. And I took my measuring piece and I measured those sides. And what's nice about this particular piece of art, and if a lot of you use 1 inch canvases, this 1 inch Foamular is the perfect thickness for this type of art. It works out great. So even with this frame, it works out very nice. So I'm using that metal straight edge to give me nice straight edges on it. And like I said, using the snap off blades with the knife gives me a nice smooth edge, and you want that. You want to make several cuts. You might notice me cut, and I cut again, and I cut again, each time deeper on that. Boy, I wonder if I should have a script. And I don't think that would help at all. But I cut deeper each time instead of trying to do it. And there I have the four sides just laid in place and all. Now what I'm going to do is take some double-sided tape. I bought this through Amazon. You might be able to buy it at a craft store, possibly for carpet tape. Sometimes that has a tendency to be a little thick, but this is nice. Yeah, my hands shake, and then with speeding up, man, it looks like they're really shaking. And I press it down. Make sure that you do have it pressed down because sometimes it doesn't adhere very well. So press it down, use your fingernails, and wouldn't you know, I don't have fingernails. Terrible habit when you pick your nails. I don't bite my nails, but I have trouble getting them, especially when you press it down to make sure it adheres well. So pick that off, pull it out, lay it down so it's right even with all sides, end to end, and the sides there. And as I mentioned earlier, you want that sharp knife. So you'll notice that my pieces that I've cut all are smooth. If you've got a dull edge on your knife blade, or if you cut too fast, you might have a tendency to tear it a little bit. You can see it a little bit on that one larger sheet, some tearing. Now, I can't say that the shipping company is going to be upset or you're going to have problems. I'm just trying to prevent problems on it. To have as smooth as edge as possible. You can see where I cut very well, and maybe places where either the knife is starting to get dull or I cut a little too fast. So I go around. Now, how many pieces of this double-sided tape? I usually use about 4 or more. 1 at each corner and 2 or more in the center. So on this size, I'm using 4. I just want to make sure that piece is nice and secure. And I definitely recommend using some kind of a straight edge for your knife blade to make sure you get a straight edge on these. Well, what I'm doing here is 1.5 inch width on it. Here I'm only using 3. And again, it's up to you. I go for the 100% success rate, and it doesn't cost that much more for the tape. It's minimal. So I press it down, but having a straight edge ensures that you've got a straight edge. I'm lucky that I've got that long metal one. If you have a yardstick, if you pick one up, again, at hardware store or so, you can do that. You just have to be careful you don't cut into it, but you want a nice straight edge. So I go around the whole thing. It doesn't matter. I don't think that whether you have the longest pieces of the 4 sides on the top or on the sides. And see, here I've got them varied. It's up to you. You just want something secure, and that's what we're doing here. So it all works out very nice. And I leave the picture in there just to make sure I have it all nice and straight. You don't have to. I just want to make sure that it keeps everything in place, so to speak. All right, so I've got that in their place now and ready to move on here. So I've got all 4 sides in place and all. You notice I had a little bit sticking out there, so I'm going to trim that off just to make sure it's nice and square. And I'm going to take the artwork out of there now and get it ready to finish up on the other side. So it's going to take some bubble wrap. Now, sometimes when we ship with bubble wrap, sometimes we use small, sometimes we use large, sometimes we use tissue. It depends on what we're shipping, the surface of it. Sometimes with tissue, we put tissue in there if there might be some movement of any kind. Here, we felt that bubble wrap was fine. I put that on there, just want to make sure it's all nice and square. This is a tight fit, and that's fine. We don't want this picture moving around at all. Any kind of abrasive. Now we're ready to put that tape on. And a plug for Scotch tape, they do a Sure Start. Sure Start doesn't rip. You know how you're trying to get that tape up when it tears and you keep on tearing it and you want to throw it across the room? Sure Start. We buy it by the case, of which is 6 or 8 rolls on it through Amazon. You can also buy a single roll at the post office. At least we can buy it at ours at the counter and we're going to tape down every corner and then some. And here we go. So we've got it all taped up. Each corner, both ways on each corner, and then again 3-4 times throughout the sides to have it securely done. You could take it all the way across, but that's strong. It is, I can tell you that this finished piece here, it barely weighs more than the original framed artwork. It is still nice and lightweight and fantastic. We put all the print from the Foamular on the inside. Here we have 3 inches thick is all. And the print is on the inside, as I said, so when you put the label for UPS or USPS or whoever, FedEx, it's going to stand out. Yeah, it's going to get dings. Yeah, it's going to get scratches. And yet the post office has no problems with it. First time I got a weird look from UPS, but now they know us, and now I have taken 4-foot by 5-foot pieces in with 2-inch Foamular, and they are happy with it. We are happy, and we have shipped it across the continental United States with 100% results, and I think you'll enjoy it too. Just be slow and meticulous, and you'll be happy with it. So make sure you put a like for us and come back and watch our other videos.